Homeschool Shakespeare Troupe, I bid you welcome. We would ask that you silence all cell phones, pagers, and other noise-making devices. Also, for the safety of our actors, please avoid any flash photography, although you are welcome to record this play. We would like to express our gratitude for the sound and lights to Alexi McPherson and Abby Davis. We would like to dedicate this production to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the greatest author, who gives us the talent and wisdom to create something beautiful that we hope we will all enjoy. It is our wish that you will fall in love with Shakespeare as much as we have over the years as you watch one of his most hilarious plays. Feel free to laugh, sigh, and most of all, completely enjoy our production of As You Like It.
There begins my sadness. My brother Jacques he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his prophet. For mine own part he keeps me rustically at home. This is it, Adam, which grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt see how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
I'm helping you to mar that which God made. A poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husk with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I have come to such penury?
Know you before whom, sir?
I know you are my eldest brother. The courtesy in nations allow you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But that same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there 20 brothers betwixt us, I have as much as my father and me as you.
What, boy?
Come, come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys, and he is thrice a villain who says such a father begot villains.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercise that become me a gentleman. Or allow me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. Not long be troubled with you. You shall have some portion of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, who would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will forseek your rankness and give you no 1,000 crowns neither. Hola, Demis.
Called, your worship?
Was not Charles, the Duke's Spencer, here to speak with me?
So please, he is here at the door, and importunes access.
Call him in. 'Twill be a good way, and tomorrow the fencing is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There is no news at the court, but the old news, that is, the old Duke, is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke.
Where will the old Duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him, and there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day, and plead their time carelessly, as they did in the Golden World.
What? You fence tomorrow before the new Duke?
Marry I do, sir, and I came to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath the disposition to come in disguised against me to try a foil tomorrow. Tomorrow, sir, I fence for my credit, and he who escapes me shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I loathe to foil him, as I must, should he come in.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I shall most kindly requite. I'll tell thee, he is the stubbornest young fellow of France, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst cut his neck as his finger. For I assure thee, and almost with tears to speak it, that there's not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you, sir. If he come tomorrow, I shall give him his payment. If he ever go alone again, I'll never fence for prize more. And so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now I shall stir this game, sir. I hope I shall see an end to him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. He's gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, full of noble device of all sorts, enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much the heart of the world, and especially of my own people, that I am altogether misprized. But it will not be so long. This fencer shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
Prithee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry. Dear Celia, unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Always the dullness of the fool is the whetstone of the wits. How now, wit, whither wander you?
By mine honor, I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor the pancakes were good, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now, I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good. And yet, was not the knight forsworn?
How prove you that in the great heat of your knowledge?
Ay, marry, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards, I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that which is not, you are not forsworn. Nor was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had it. And if he had, he has sworn it away long before he ever saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it that thou meanest?
One that old Frederick, your father, loves.
My father's love is enough to honor him. Enough, speak no more of him.
The more pity that fools may not speak wisely about what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou sayest true. For since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Here comes Monsieur Lebeau. Bonjour, Monsieur Lebeau. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport. I would have told you of good fencing, which you have lost the sight of.
Yet, tell us the manner of the fencing.
There comes an old man with his 3 sons, the eldest of whom fenced with Charles, the Duke's fencer, which Charles, in a moment, overthrew, so that there is little hope of life in him. So he served the second, and so the third.
Alas! But what is the sport, Monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first time I have ever heard such fighting was a sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this fencing, cousin?
You must, if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the tournament.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the tournament?
Aye, my liege. So please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There are such odds in the matter. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Help him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Monsieur the challenger, the princess is called for you.
I attended them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the Fencer?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but as others do, to test with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. You've seen cruel proof of this man's skill. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess myself much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother Earth?
Ready, sir, but we'll have in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one round.
No, I warrant your grace, you shall not entreat him to a second, that hath so mightily persuaded him from at first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. Come your ways.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
Would I were invisible, to catch a strong fellow by the leg.
Oh, excellent young man.
If I had a thunderbolt in my eye, I can tell who's it down.
Ah!
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Well, bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I wouldst thou had been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did still find him mine enemy. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth, but I wouldst thou had told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have fenced well, and overthrown more than your enemies. Fare you well.
What passion weighs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her. It's yours, conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Or Charles, or something weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do, in friendship, counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. Yet now is such the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, but pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the fencing?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners. But yet indeed, the smaller is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by her usurping uncle. But I can tell you that of late, the Duke has taken great displeasure against his gentle niece, for, grounded upon no other argument than that the people praise her for her virtues and pity her for her good father's sake. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I thank you. Fare you well. I rest much bounden to you. Thus must I, from smoke into this mother, from tyrant duke to tyrant brother. But oh, heavenly Rosalind!
Oh, how full of briars is this working day world.
They are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon the unholiday foolery.
I could shake them off my coat, but these burrs are in my heart.
Come, fence with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better fencer than myself.
Is it possible, on such a sudden, that you should fall into so strong a liking with Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly. Let me love him for that. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court!
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou be so near our court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
Treason is not inherited, my lord.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak. I know her. If she be a traitor, why so am I.
She is too subtle for thee. Her very smoothness, her silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. Provide yourself, niece. If you outstay your time, then upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word, thou diest for it.
Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you. So shall we pass along, and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit me at all points like a man? We'll have a swashing and martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have that do outface it with their semblances.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look, you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court?
He'll go along o'er the wide world with me. Let's away, and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that would be made after my flight. Now we go in content, to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than that of the envious court? How sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like a toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this our life exempt from public haunt, doth find tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace, that can translate the stubbornness of fortune in so quiet and sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill us venison?
Huzzah! Indeed, my lord. The melancholy Jaques grieves at that, and in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your brothers that hath banished you. Today my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay along under an oak, whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag that from the hunter's aim haft and hurt did come to languish.
But what said Jaques? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes, unto 1,000 similes. First, for his weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth he, thou makest a testament, as worldlings do, giving thy sum of more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friends. 'Tis right, quoth he, thus misery doth part the flux of company. Anon a careless herd, full of the pasture, jumps along by him and never stays to greet him. Aye, quoth Jaques, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lords, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Come, show me the place. I love to cook him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I will bring you to him straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them?
I cannot hear of any that did see her. My lord, the boorish clown, at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh, is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the fencer, that did but surely foil the sinnowing Charles, and she believes wherever they have gone, the youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Bring that gallant hither. If he be absent, we'll bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly. And let not search or inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways. What? Who's there?
What? My young master? Oh, my gentle master? Oh, my sweet master, you memory of old Sir Roland. Why are you virtuous? Why do people love you? And wherefore art you gentle, strong, and valiant? Your praise has come too swiftly home before you. Know you not, master, to some kind of men their graces serve them but as enemies? Oh, what a world is this, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why, Adam, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors. Within this roof your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. I overheard him at his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it. Do not enter it.
Why, Adam, where would you have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What? Would you have me go and beg my food? Or the base and boisterous sword, and for the thievish living on the common road? Why, I would rather subject myself to the mouth of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the 50 hire I saved under your father. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed, yea, providentially caters for the sparrow, be comfort to my age. Here is the gold. All this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. Let me go with you.
Oh, good old man. How well in me appears the constant service of the antique world. Thou art not for the fashion of these times, where none will sweat before promotion. But come your ways, we'll go along together. And ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp of truth and loyalty. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's.
Oh, how weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits. If my legs were not weary,
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose must show itself courageous to petticoat, and therefore, courage, good Aliena.
I pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
for my part, I would rather bear with you than bear it.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Now am I in Arden. The more fool I, for now is it once in a better place. But travelers must be content.
Aye, be so good, Touchstone. Look you, who comes here? A young man and an old, solemn talk.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I can partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. How many actions, most ridiculous, wast thou drawn into by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, then thou didst never love so heartily, if thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love made thee run into. Thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd. Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love, I took 2 peas, and giving her them said with weeping tears, "Wear these for my sake." We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature in love mortal and fine.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art aware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er be aware of mine own wit, till I break my shins against it.
I pray you, one of you question yon man. If he for food, if he for gold, will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown! Peace, fool! He's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
I prithee, shepherd, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her. But I am shepherd to another man. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and his bounds of feed are now on sale. And at our sheepcote now there is nothing you may feed upon. But what there is, you shall see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Go with me, and if you like upon report, the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I your very faithful feeder will be, and will buy it with your gold right presently.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Hereby I die, and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
How now, Adam? No greater heart in me? For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death well at the arm's end. I will here be with you presently. If I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. Come, I'll bury thee some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner. If there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Gadam.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merry.
A fool. A fool. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool. He drew a dial from his poke, and looking at it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, "It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see," quoth he, "how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we write, and then from hour to hour we wrought, and thereby hangs the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. O noble fool, O worthy fool, motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
O worthy fool, oh that I were fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. And they that are most galled with my folly, they most must laugh. And why, sir, must they so? The why is plain as the way to parish church. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world. But who comes here?
Forbear, and eat no more.
Why? I have eaten none yet.
Nor shalt not, till necessity be served.
Art thou this bolden man by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners?
The thorny point of bare distress has taken from me the show of smooth civility.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost died for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you, I thought all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But whatever you are, if ever you've looked on better days, if ever been where bells have knolled to church, if ever sat in a good man's feast, if ever from your eyelids wiped a tear, and know what 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it, we have seen better days, and therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
There is a poor old man, who after me hath many a weary step lived in pure love. Till he be first sufficed, I will not touch a bit.
Go, find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank you, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater doth provide more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play it.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then, the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then, the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. And then, a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. Then a justice, in fair round belly with good cape on line, with eyes severe and beard formal cut, full wise saws, modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts to a lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, his big manly voice turning towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all which ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you both for him.
So had you need, I can scarce speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Play music, and the cousin, sing.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude.
Hey-ho, sing hey-ho, unto the green olive. Most friendship is fading, most love is mere folly. Sing hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
Breeze, breeze, thou bitter sky that does not bite so nigh, has been of its forgot, though thou the waters warp. Thy sting is not so sharp, as friend remember not.
Hey-ho, sing hey-ho, unto the green olive. Most friendship is fading, most love is mere folly. Then hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
That you were the good Sir Roland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were. And as mine eye doth this effigy's witness, most truly limbed and living in your face. Be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Support him by the arm, give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not seen him since? Sir! Sir, that cannot be! Find out thy brother, wheresoever he is. Seek him with candle. Bring him, living or dead, within this 12-month, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory. Thy lands and all things that thou dost call thine, worth seizing, do we seize into our hands.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain now! What pushing out of doors!
Hang there, my verse,
in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their thoughts, my bark for character. And every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve from every tree the fair, chaste, and unexpressive she.
And how like you this new shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect, it is in the fields. It pleaseth me well. But, in respect, it is not in the court. It is tedious. As a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well. But, as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
None but that I know that the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. That he who hath not money, means, and content is without 3 good friends. That the property of rain is to wet, of fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and that the chief cause of night, it's the lack of sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Tell me, shepherd, wast ever in court?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court? Your reason.
Why, thou never wast at court. Thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a perilous state, shepherd.
Sir, I am an honest laborer. I get what I eat. I earn what I err. I owe no man hate, and I envy no man's happiness. Here comes Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind. Through all the world there's Rosalind. All the pictures, fairest lined, are but black to Rosaline. Let no face be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so, 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted.
Out, fool!
For a taste. Sweetest nut, hath sourest rind. Such a nut is Rosaline. This is a very false gown of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace! Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
On the fairest boughs, or at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter!
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat. Though no bag and baggage, go scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all. And more, too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
That's no matter. The feet might bear the verses.
Aye, but the feet were lame, and could not bear themselves without the verse, and therefore stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear without wondering why thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of the wonder before you came. For look here what I found on a pine tree. I was never sober rhymed since Pythagoras' time.
Trow you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change your color?
I prithee, who?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence. Tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and after that, out of all whooping.
I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth, that I may drink thy tidings.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the fencer's heels and your heart, both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take to mocking.
If ain't cuz 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas the day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Wherein went he? What makes he here? Did he ask for me? How parted he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must bar me gargantuous mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size. To say aye or no to these particulars is more than to answer in a catechism.
But doth he know that I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he fenced.
He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart!
I would sing my song without a burden. Thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know that I am a woman? When I think, I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
'Tis he! Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith. I had as lief been myself alone.
And as had I. But yet, for fashion's sake, I do desire we may be better strangers.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I thank you, too, for your society.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs on their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses by reading them all favorably.
Rosalind is your love's name.
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
Well, there is no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery.
I will try no breather in this world but myself, with whom I know most fault.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
Which is a fault I would not change for your best virtue.
I am weary of you, for by my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Senior Love.
I am glad of your departure. Farewell, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit, play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Aye, what would you?
I pray you, what is your clock?
You should ask what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
What drove you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase and so remove to dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, one that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman to be touched with so many giddy offences, as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils that he laid to the charge, woman?
There were none principal. They were each like one another as halfpence are, every one fault seeming monstrous, till its fellow fault came along to match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
Nay, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts the forest, that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind in their barks. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he who is so love-shaped. I pray to you, tell me the remedy.
But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees in which Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to the youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am he, that unfortunate he!
Love is merely a madness, yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Have you ever cured any so?
Yes, one. And in this manner, he was to imagine me his love, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I be so changeable, longing and liking, proud, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the false dream of the world and live in a nook, merely monastic. And thus I cured him.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my coat, and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features, Lord warrant us, what features?
When a man's verses cannot be understood, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. I would the gods had made thee poetical.
What is poetical? Is it honest in word or deed? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most famed.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly. For thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope that thou art Spain. Be that as it may be, I will marry thee.
Well then, the gods give us joy.
Amen.
Never talk to me. I will weep.
Do, I prithee, but have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good a cause as one would desire. Therefore, weep.
But why did he swear he would come this morning, and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think he is not a pick purse, nor a horse stealer. But for his verity and love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true. In love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. He dwells here in the forest, on the Duke your father.
I met the Duke yesterday, and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was, so I told him of as good as he. So he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of fathers, when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths and breaks them bravely. Look, who comes here?
Master, mistress, you have oft inquired about a shepherd, complained of love, who you saw sitting by me on the turf.
Well, and what of him?
If you would see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little, and I will conduct you.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Bring us to this sight, and you shall say,
I'll prove a busy actor in their play.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness, like a common executioner.
I would not be thy executioner. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eye. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart. Now show the wound mine eye hath made at thee. I am sure there's no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wound is invisible that love's keen arrows do make.
But till that time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee. And why, I pray you? What? Though you have no beauty. But mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell while you can. You are not for all markets. Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister. Shepherdess, look on him better, and be not proud. Dead shepherd, now I find thy soul of might. Whoever loved, that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe, pity me!
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius. Thou hast my love. Is that not neighborly?
I would have you.
Silvius, since thou canst speak of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too.
So holy and so perfect is my love. Loose now and then, a scattered smile. And that I'll live upon.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he hath bought the cottage and the bounds that the old Carlot once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. There be some women, Silvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near and fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not, and yet have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Oh, Phoebe! With all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I'll be bitter with him and pass it short. Go with me, Silvius. Go with me?
Yes.
Let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
Why? 'Tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why, then 'tis good to be a post.
It is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, which, by often rumination, wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler. By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I had rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it, too.
Ah! Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind!
Amen. God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Mr. Traveler. Look, you lisp and wear strange suits. Disable all the benefits of your own country, be out of love with your nativity, and almost chide God for making you that countenance you are, or I will scarce think you have swam in a gondola. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while?
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. What would you say to me now? And I were your very, very Rosalind.
Ah, I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay! You had better speak first. Then, when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators, when they are out, they will spit. And for lovers lacking, God warn us, matter, the cleanliest shift is to kiss. Am I not your Rosalind?
I would take some joy to say you are, for I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person I say I will not have you like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour your affection in, it runs out.
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey. But, Audrey, there's a youth in the forest. Lays claim to you.
Aye, I notice he hath no interest in me in the world. Here comes the man you need.
Good evening, Audrey!
God be good even, William.
And good evening to you too, sir.
Good evening to you too, gentle friend. Is thy name William?
William, sir!
Art rich?
Rich, sir. So.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet, it is not. It is but so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir, I have a pretty wit.
Why thou hast sayest well. I do now remember a saying, a fool to think is wise. But a wise man knows himself to be a fool. Do you love this maid?
I do, sir.
Then give me your hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. For all your writers do consent that ipse is he. Now you are not ipse, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you, clown, abandon, which is in the vulgar, leave the society which in boorish is company of this female, or
to wit, I kill thee. Make thee away, translate thy life into death. Therefore tremble and depart.
Do, good William.
God rest ye merry,
How say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando?
I warned you, pure love and a troubled brain. He hath tamed his bow and arrows and gone forth to sleep. Look who comes here.
My gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this.
Patience herself would startle at this letter. Why, 'tis a boisterous and cruel style she Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turn? Let a maiden's heart have burned. Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Whiles you chide me, I did love. How then might your prayers move?
Call you this chiding?
Go your way to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake. Look, here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. If that an eye may profit by a tongue, then I know you by description. Orlando doth commend himself to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you know me, what a man I am. When last the Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return within an hour. And pacing through the forest, lo befell, he threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself. Under an oak, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back, and nearby, a lioness lay crouching in cat-like watch. When that the sleeping man should stir, this scene, Orlando approached the man and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard of him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well, he may say so, for I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando. Did he leave him there?
Twice he did turn his back and purposed to go, but kindness, nobler than revenge, and nature stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, which quickly fell before him, in which hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was it you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
Brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave, and there stripped himself. And here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled, and now he fainted, and cried in fainting, upon Rosalind! Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell you this story, that you may excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
How now, Ganymede, sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There is more in it, cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
We'll lead you thither. Pray you, take him by the arm.
Be of good cheer, youth. You, a man. You lack a man's heart.
I do so. I confess it. Ah, sir, A body would think this was well counterfeited.
This was not counterfeit. There's too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do. But in faith, I should have been a woman. By right.
Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you draw homeward. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must bear answer back. How you excuse my brother, Rosalind?
I will devise something. But I pray you, commend my counterfeiting to him.
Is it possible that though little acquaintance you should like her? That but seeing you should love her, and loving you would woo, and wooing she would grant? And will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, our small acquaintance, poverty of her, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Aliena! Say with her, she loves me, consent with both. It shall be to your profit. For my father's house and all the revenue that was old Sir Rowland's will I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. I'll invite the Duke to the nuptial. Go ye and prepare Aliena. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, 'tis true. Caesar's thracionical brag of I came, saw, and overcame. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage.
And they shall be married tomorrow. And I'll invite the Duke to the nuptial. But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look at happiness through another man's eyes.
I will weary you no longer then with idle talking. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, you shall marry her. It is not impossible to me to set her before you tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meaning?
By my life, I do. Therefore put you in your best array, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall. Look, here comes a lover of mine, and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience, and impatience, all purity, all trial, and all obeisance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Whom do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her who is not here nor doth not hear.
I pray you, no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy the man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well. I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
Sometimes I believe, and sometimes do not. Like those who fear they hope, and know they fear.
You say, if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her.
That would I, were I all kingdoms king.
You say that you'll marry me if I be willing. That will I, should I die the hour after. But that if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd. So is the bargain. You say that you'll have Phoebe if she will.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Hence I go.
I do remember in the shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My good lord, the first time I ever saw him, methought him a brother to your daughter. But my good lord, this boy is forest born, and had been tutored in the rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle, whom he reports to be a great magician, obscured in the circle of this forest.
There is sure another flood torn, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greeting to you all.
Good, my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with mine friend, smooth with mine enemy. I haven't done 3 tailors, have had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Upon a lie 7 times removed.
Can you nominate in order now the degrees of the lie?
Oh, sir, we quarrel in print, by the book, as you have books for good manners. I will name you the degrees. The first, the retort courteous. The second, the quip modest. The third, the reply churlish. The fourth, the reproof valiant. The fifth, the counter-check quarrelsome. The sixth, the lie with circumstance. The seventh, the lie direct. All of these may be avoided, but the lie direct. This too may be avoided with an if. I once knew when 7 justices could not take up a case, but when the parties were met themselves, one of them thought but of if. As if you said so, then I said so. They shook hands and swore brothers. Your if is the only peacemaker. Much virtue in if.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Then is there mirth in heaven when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven hath brought her. He brought her hither, that thou mightest join her hand in his, whose heart within her bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
There be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then my love adieu. I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman if you be not she.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
Let me have the audience for a word or two. I am the second son of old Sir Roland, that bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resort to these forts, address a mighty power which one foot, in his own conduct here, to purposely take his brother here and put him to the sword. Into the skirts of this wild wood he came, where meeting an old religious man, after some question with him, he was converted. Huzzah! Both for his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathed to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again, that once with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. First, let us do those ends that in this forest were well begun and well begot. And after, let every of this happy number who endured true days and nights with us share in the good of our return fortune. Play music and brides and bridegrooms all, in a measure heaped in joy, to the measures fall.
We want to thank you all so much for watching and enjoying our play. We had so much fun putting it on. And we have to thank a few more people before we can end. So, our directors, Big food.
Please help us out.
Man, do we need to thank anyone else?
Mrs. McPherson and Mrs. Cosby are joining us.
We would like to thank the light box. They did all these wonderful lights and sounds, so without them it wouldn't be possible. And Mrs. Tisdale, who did our makeup, was an incredible help. We have tons of people, so Mrs. Tisdale, come on.
And we need to thank Baylor for letting us use their stage this week.
We have all this food, and we can't eat it ourselves. So, if you want to help us, we have a reception outside. So, all our actors will be there. Shake their hands. Have them back.
I'm ready for that.